All right. Here we go again. Master feedback live from our studio. And before we start, let me present you the one and only, my assistant, Nick.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, my man. How are you doing this morning?
Great.
Fantastic.
Of course, I'm doing great.
And it's not morning.
Kind of morning.
As we say in Germany, moin moin.
Moin, moin. Yeah.
Moin moin. If you want to impress
Hamburg.
a German dude, mainly in the north of Germany, you go and say moin moin, which means good morning, good morning. But you can say it in the evening as well.
It actually doesn't mean good morning. It means
Cheers.
Cheers.
Something.
Hello.
All right.
Okay. So what we got today here?
Oh yeah, we have a reader user called Simon. He sent us a track. And as always, we haven't really listened to this. We do a quick check. This is definitely quality stuff. And as always, we really pay attention to the audio quality, the quality of the mix. And we are doing here the same that we do in our paid master feedback service that's available through our website. Mm-hmm. Only that if you send it for our live show, it's completely free for you. We advertise the beep out of it on the internet, and you will get a free feedback on your mix. You return the mix to us, and then we will also do a free stem master. And we have also decided to completely drop stereo mastering. I mean, you can still send us a stereo file and we will still do the job, but we find the new age of mastering is to be able, as a mastering engineer, to go into problem areas, because a lot of the music these days is produced in really small rooms where you can have as much talent and you can have the greatest ear, but the problem oftentimes is that there's certain frequencies. There could be a 60 hertz, an 80, 100 hertz, and in a specific listening position, the reflections from the walls are against the phase of the direct sound, which means a certain frequency is non-existent in your room. So you start to compensate for that in your mix. You start to...
Exactly.
I mean, it goes both ways. It can completely... the frequency can be completely non-existent, or it can be a lot louder. So your 60 hertz can be twice as loud as in a room that's very balanced. And as a mixer, you're compensating for this, and then you're in deep trouble.
We also like to focus on the specific problems, like bass and kick drum, without touching the synths or whatever guitars. That's the benefit of stem mastering. Yeah,
and a lot of times people also send us a dry version of the lead vocals, and that of course means, we are sometimes deciding to just route the lead vocals through the analog gear, through all the nice outboard we have in our huge outboard wall. So we have a lot of analog stuff, and that sometimes makes a difference. Not always, but it can be really nice. Let's stop the talking. I would say have a listen to what Simon Cookson sent us today.
I killed a man last night, but that ain't what I'm all about. I took a life last night, it lays heavy on my heart now. And all the tears I cry ain't gonna make this wrong or right. You can see it on my face, I'm broken. So Father, please forgive me for the wickedness I run from. Please, I know I've done a bad thing. Yes, I know it. So here is my confession.
So I'm gonna switch to mono and listen to the lead vocals.
Last night, I can't take back what I've done. It's weighing on my mind. A life fading like the setting sun. As he closed his eyes, I'm left here with a price to pay. You can see it on my face.
The emotions of the song do not completely come across for me on this mix. And it's really tough for me to explain what it is. And I have a feeling that we just need to rebalance it.
I think so too.
You can't say it's overproduced. I mean, it has some nice little echoes and effects, and there is some attention to detail, but for me, emotionally, the mix stands a bit in the way. It's not connecting as much as it should.
I would bring the lead vocals, the dry lead vocals, a little bit more up front, to give it an intimate atmosphere, because he's obviously telling a story.
Yeah. You know what? The one word I would describe the mix, it's nervous. It's somehow nervous, and it doesn't have the sovereignty it would require for the emotion to come across. Something is distracting me from completely understanding the emotion of the song.
Yeah. Let's continue listening. I mean, we are at the second.
I tell you, this
verse.
is one of the toughest ones we had.
Yeah.
Because it's not obvious, but what's obvious is that emotionally it's not completely connecting.
Hard to fix because it isn't a frequency issue. It's more like a balance and interpretation thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, if you look at the low end here, you can tell he's been very careful to not do anything wrong, because there's nothing happening.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing, but there's nothing happening below 50 hertz, and there shouldn't be happening a lot, but there should be something happening.
Yeah.
The mix was done on a near field system, and he's been very careful, but at the same time, it's already a little too focused on between 50 and 100 hertz, and it's not well rounded.
Let's see, continue to the chorus, I think,
All right.
and see what's happened there.
So Father, please forgive me for
The kick's too loud, definitely.
The wrong frequencies are too loud.
Yeah. It's too much up front. The kick's distracting from the emotion of the vocal.
Yeah.
This is one big problem I have with the mix.
So here is my confession.
It almost a hip-hop type of ballads if you pay attention to the kick.
Can you hear me?
Just lower up the kick a little bit. 2 dB.
Silence, tell me, can you hear
I would
me?
replace the sound of the kick.
In the silence, tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Also some room reverb on the kick.
Silence, tell me, can you hear
It's not organic enough for the emotion, I think. I would bring in a real sounding kick here, because everything's really organic, but the kick is such a standard early 90s whatever random kick. It's not really designed to help bring the emotion across.
Oh God, yes, I know it. So here is my confession.
Look at this, you can boost the low end
Yeah,
7 dB and it doesn't sound wrong.
and this is a good direction you're doing here, but the kick sounds still plastic.
Oh, can you hear me? I know I've done a bad thing. Yes, I know it. So here
I mean, to a certain extent, that the same goes for the snare. The snare's also cheap plastic. I mean, I get the idea is the, what is it? It's like the end 80s rig, Springfield compressed type of Lin, whatever, 9000, compressed the shit out of it. But I mean, we should mess about with some triggering and bring in some nice acoustic sound that has some emotions to it. You know, I miss like little ghost notes from a real drummer, and the drums can be more emotional, organic. on this one.
I mean, we can keep the original sounds to keep the vibe up. The producer does, but if we bring in some real sounds, that would.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if we generate triggers and we use, it's mostly a Steven Slate kind of thing. It's the number one thing to use here, and we can bring in the single sources, this top snare mic, bottom snare mic, and have a really fine and differentiated sounding drum thing going on, and then we can still almost like a parallel compression thing bring in the original sounds. But I think the drum programming is too late 80s, and we can do so much. We can bring in so much more emotions with drum programming these days, and this is what's missing.
Yeah. So I think we are gonna replace the kick completely.
Snare as well, if you ask me. I mean, at least bring in some fine bottom snare mic and some room stuff, and make it like really have some transients and have some sizzling here, and it's what I feel now. I mean, we have to still generate the triggers, bring it up, and he needs to send us the single tracks, but I think it's worth it because it's a really emotional song.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I mean, anything else?
Yeah. So if you gonna print us the stems, it would be great to get the dry lead vocals and the lead vocal effects only.
Yeah,
because he has some.
And we said it many times. The way you do this in your DAW is you send the dry vocal to a bus that's down, muted or whatever, and then you have the effects only, because he did some nice work on the echoes and effects.
Yeah, there are some throw echoes and
some good stuff there we can use. But at the same time, we want to send the dry vocal dry and without plugins. Bypass all of your plugins, because then we can put it through an all analog chain here and bring out some of the emotion that the vocals definitely have. And
same goes for the snare. If you're, so we can keep.
I don't care actually. He can give us the snare as it is. It's compressed.
Just to have it, just to have the dry snare and the snare reverb.
Yeah, the more we have, the more flexibility. Yeah. Any questions, let us know. I should send you our master feedback PDF, which gives you a whole tour around how to bounce stems and what to look for, and the whole procedure of handing over a mix to mastering, or in our case, a stem mastering engineer. We have a PDF about that. Anybody who's interested in that, I'm happy to send it to you. Maybe we should have it as a free download in the shop.
We can put it there.
We'll do that. Let's put that on the list. Other than that, send it over. I think, especially if you're a producing songwriter in your home studio, you've done a really good job. I mean, it's great songs, really good writing, and
it's worth put the effort in it.
Absolutely.
Because there's so much potential, in my opinion.
Great songwriting, great emotion, great vocal. Yeah. Let's do this.
All right.
That's it for today. I hope you liked it. We are hoping to do these more often. We are now kind of in our flow. We have set up the nice wireless mics, and we have a direct connection. We used to use a room mic and record the room mic in the room, but we decided, heck, let's forget about that. We give you our direct DAW stream, also show you what's happening on our screen by mixing the screencast into the live feed. And I hope you like it. We will put this on many platforms. It's obviously live on Facebook, but at the same time, it's going to be out probably on SoundCloud, YouTube, and many platforms.
And feel free to comment. Let us know your opinion.
Email, PM. I'm happy to talk to you. personally help you with your project. And if you want us to help you and do it on a live show here, contact us. It's completely free for you. I mean, we have a bit of a backlog, so there's no 100% guarantee we're going to do it, but I mean, very likely. And sometimes it's great to be able to choose from a bunch of things that are sitting in the backlog. And we definitely enjoyed this one.
All right.
Thanks, Simon. We'll be in touch.
In the silence, tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me? In the silence, tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me? In the silence, tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me?